Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear viewers, thank you so much for joining us on day 19 of the Real Talk. Today we're going to be talking about something. I know it's a bit late. We don't usually jump on this late, do we, Rosie?
What happened?
You were busy and I was busy. I think we were both busy,
We were so
subhanAllah.
busy today, subhanAllah.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah, productive. It was
alhamdulillah.
like we were more productive.
We don't complain at all.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking about a very important topic again. She's better than me, insecurities and how people project them, and what you
Mhm.
can do if you feel insecure. So, joining me today is, mashallah, the professional, a one and only, one of a kind, Rosaline Batul, the transformational expert who helps coaches sell high ticket offers.
And we are joined by Saika Riyad, the marriage mindset coach, and she helps married couples spark the passion back in their marriages and transform and thrive.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. So we just decided we were going to talk about this. So Rosie, can you shed some light on why do people say or believe or think she's better than me?
Yes, so usually what happens is we all have sometimes most of the time most of us are looking for validation from other people, okay? And when you're not confident within yourself, you will always think that someone else is better than you. So either you think she's better looking than you think she's more successful than you think she has a better marriage than you. Is we're always in this constant cycle of comparing, right? And that goes back to the lack of self-worth, self-esteem, and self-confidence. Usually when I speak to people, they're like, oh, I can't, like people want to build a business. Women go, oh, I can't do it because she's already doing it and she's doing it better than me. Right. And when we dig deep, they're like, oh, when I take it back to like the root cause, they're like, oh, I was always compared to people. I was always compared to my cousins, my family members. I was always told that I'm the bad one or I'm not the good enough one. And it goes back to that root belief that I'm not good enough. So it comes up as different things. If you can be comparing yourself to the way someone looks, you think she's prettier than you, or you think she's making more money than you, or she has a better husband than you, or she has better kids than you. It goes back to you always trying to seek validation from other people.
Yeah, 100% subhanAllah. It may have been that in your childhood, your parents said something like always compared you to other people and
Yeah.
gave you this comparison where you had to fight for that position and you had to fight for that step or spot, should I say. And now you feel like your insecurities hold you back in everything you do. So, when a person feels insecure, what does it mean? That there's basically uncertainty. They're doing something without trust. There's this like kind of excessive anxiety and they're paranoid. And
Mm.
once you become like that, what happens is you stop taking proactive action and you start judging yourself quite harshly because you're always in the comparison. You have to, your self-worth is kind of gone because now it's you versus another person.
Mm.
And people make a lot of irrational interpretations about their self or even their ability to get something done when they're coming from that place of insecurity or fear that she or he is better than me.
Mm.
Because really what they're doing, they're wanting, this is clearly, I think it's like to do with perfectionism as well, that you have
Yes.
to be perfect in everything. You have to be perfect in your business, in your life, in your ambitions, in your careers, all of these things. Walaikum salam, Salim and Farah, thank you for joining. So yeah, I think that's the perfectionism thing. It's a perfectionism thing, isn't it? Because
Yes,
you
totally.
want to become perfect at everything and that becomes unhealthy.
Yes, very unhealthy. And it goes back to that feeling of not good enough. You just have to remember that perfection only belongs to God. It doesn't belong to you. No matter how much you try and strive to be perfect, it will never happen because you're competing with an attribute of God. So once you realize that, and you also realize that your real competition is not other people, it's yourself. Is your ego, it's your laziness, it's who you were yesterday. So if yesterday you feel like you had a bad day and today you wake up, that's your competition to make sure you don't have a repeat day. That's the real competition. But a lot of us, because we're seeking validation, we're always trying to seek approval. And usually it goes back to your parents. I know I've spoken to so many people in the past that said to me that, my parents always wanted me to have straight A's. If I got a B, I would get reprimanded. And if I didn't do well in school, and I was compared to my cousin or my friend, and she's doing better than me. So it created that belief, that gap, that disconnect from yourself, from your identity, because you were all born with potential. You were born with the potential to impact and to create the life that you dream of. You have that potential, but what happened is you just let the belief or the story allow it to take over yourself, so that now that you subscribe to it, basically you
Mm.
subscribe to that story, telling yourself that, oh well, when I was 5, my mom said to me that, I failed, or the kids in school bullied me for being different, or I'm being constantly compared to my sister for being the pretty one and I'm the ugly one. So you have that story in your mind. So when it does come to you, like going out to do something, seek and pursue your goals, pursue your dreams, you hold yourself back. And that's because you're seeking validation, but you can only validate yourself. And I always tell people to be your own cheerleader. So the things that you wanted your parents to say to you when you were a kid, say it to yourself. Tell
Celebrate the
yourself,
small wins, isn't it? Like every
yes.
small action that you do, it doesn't have to be some big giant step for you to celebrate. It has to be just the small, consistent things. SubhanAllah.
Right, exactly. And a lot of us don't do that. We're waiting for this massive goal for us to attain. Have you noticed that? We're saying to ourselves, once I make a million, unless you want to
Yeah,
be rich, or
yeah,
once I get my dream car, then I'm going to celebrate. No, celebrate the little baby steps that you take. Celebrate the fact that you get up every day and you stay motivated, and you still pursue your goals despite the fact that you're feeling away. That's something to celebrate. But we don't do that. We're looking
yeah.
for the bigger picture because we've been indoctrinated to believe that we have to revise hard, and only we can celebrate when we get that straight A. That's what we were taught in school.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? There's two things to actually take out from there. Number one is the power of gratitude, because when you're celebrating the small wins, you're truly being grateful. It's celebrating the small little things that you do that are going to get you to your goal or whatever thing it is that you want to pursue. So, gratitude is so powerful, subhanAllah. When you
Yeah.
come from that place of being grateful, and your whole body and your soul is kind of just beaming with this light and this new sense of awareness, everything just shifts. You're not
Mm,
bothered about she's better than me, or he's better than me, or he's got a better car than me, or a house than me, or whatever this stuff is that is bothering you. You're just grateful. So you have to really tune into that and find what makes you grateful and start appreciating and looking at the blessings that we have. And secondly, subhanallah, another thing is that we have to create our own reality. Nobody,
mm,
if you're feeling like that and you feel like, okay, there's something lacking in my life, I don't have something, it's clearly lacking in my life. So if it's lacking, what are the action steps you can take to create that reality? Because
mm,
we are responsible. If there's something lacking in our life, or if there's something that we have to take 100% ownership. Again, it's not giving your control to other people, and create that thing that you want. And when you feel unworthy and incapable of just being yourself, because you're going to get rejected or you're going to get criticized, this is going to stop you from reaching your full potential. And it's going to,
mm,
you're going to struggle with low self-esteem, and you won't be able to create that life you want. So, however, as insecure people are, you don't want the entire world to know about it, and you start compensating it in other ways to hide
mm.
your flaws. People start hiding their flaws and their
Yeah.
shortcomings. They can become really selfish, and these behaviors can lead from one to another,
Mm,
or they might become really defensive. People who are really, really defensive, they can't accept
mm.
any kind of feedback, because,
Yes.
or they want to hide that insecurity. They don't want to admit it. They can't admit it, and they're trying to hide it. Subhanallah,
Yes. That's
you
deep.
can't spend your life living behind, hiding behind, covering up your true, authentic self.
Yeah, and there's a quote that I love. There's a king who's aware of every mask that you wear, and that's Allah. Allah's aware of who you truly are. So whatever mask you put on in the world, just know that Allah knows who you really are, your real character, and He didn't create you to feel insecure. He's told you that you're the best, you're the best, you're the best of creation. You're
You
a
know what?
human being. Yeah, go
I
on.
completely agree, Rosie, because you know what that makes me? It reminds me of that point where somebody said, and I even said this at the beginning as well, before Ramadan entered, that how are we going to have a good Ramadan when the masajid are all closed? What are we going to do? we would go, we would pray together. It was this feeling of unity, somebody leading you in salah. It's
Mm.
amazing, etc. But then, subhanallah, it came to the fact that if you're really sincere, yeah, and if you want to work on your sincerity, then shouldn't we be doing that in private anyway? Shouldn't we be
Mm.
trying to learn the Quran? Shouldn't we put that
Right.
responsibility on ourselves and shift our focus and say, okay, yes, there's a shortcoming, I don't know enough Quran, but what can I
Mm.
do to make that happen? So you have to create that reality, and it's so
Mm.
important, and that's going to help you. And it's important to go through each step before you move
Mm.
on to the next step, and not start blaming other people, but commit yourself to the process. And you know what, a lot of us, we don't commit. We give up, or we stop, or we let these feelings hold us back, and then we never reach our full potential. You might have
Yeah.
had a lofty goal like memorizing the Quran. It's, subhanallah, a lofty goal. It's a noble thing to do, subhanallah. We respect the Huffaz, we have so much immense respect for them. But what
Mm.
distinguishes them? The
Mm.
people who do the work, who put in the effort, who accept the feedback, and do it, and work towards
Right.
it every single day, even if it was like memorizing one ayah a day, they're working towards it, right? They're creating that future. Once you
Mm.
start creating that and becoming that, you'll stop comparing as well.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you mentioned about criticism. I think that's the real issue with a lot of us. When we compare ourselves, the first thing we want to seem perfect because we're
Yeah.
afraid of being criticized. So we compare ourselves to other people and then we judge. So we think to, have you ever done this? You look at someone and you think, oh, I'm better than her. I can do that better. She's nothing. Because deep down inside, you have the worst criticism reserved for yourself. That's the issue. So when you're looking around judging people and you're afraid to be judged, the first thing you need to do is stop judging. The first thing you need to do is stop criticizing even yourself, because that's what's going to stop you from reaching your potential, right? That's going to stop you from exceeding your limits, exceeding your own desires and your goals. And another thing that Psycho mentioned was making it a reality. A lot of us just dream, and that's not enough to take you to where you want to go. You have to
Mm.
take action. You have to make
There's
your
a
dreams a
difference. There's a
reality.
difference
Yeah,
between wish and actually going full out and
right.
committing to the process of doing it and making it happen.
Exactly. And
Mm.
it's not motivation either, because motivation just with us is discipline. So you have to, the way that you make your dreams your reality is by taking action and by being disciplined and constantly reevaluating yourself, because it's not just about you looking at people. Like, guys, I literally have no competition with anyone. Saika, we're in the same field. Alhamdulillah, even Jamila, the girl that I was doing the live with today, we're all in the same field. But for me, it's just like, yes, if you succeed, I succeed. That's the mentality you have to have. Because if you really want success, if you really say that I want success, whenever you see someone you think that's better than you, the first thing you should say to yourself is, I'm next. This is something that I teach my clients. I say to them, tell yourself, I'm next. The fact that you're seeing it, Allah is showing you that that's a sign that you're next, because you're seeing it. A lot of people probably haven't seen that. They haven't seen that post, or they haven't heard about someone getting married or becoming successful in their business. You saw it. So that's a sign from Allah that you're next. So you have to get into the habit of telling yourself, I'm next. That's me. Like, Allah is showing me that's going to be me if I just commit to my dreams and make it my reality. And the next thing you do is tell yourself that her success is my success. When she wins, I win. Right? Because a lot of us, we talk about women's empowerment, but we're all bringing each other down when someone's making it big, or especially a woman when she's making it big. The first thing we think is to bring her down mentally. So we tell ourselves, oh, well, I can do that better than her, or I'm better than her. Like, why can she do it and I can't? You go into a negative state. The way to elevate yourself and the way to get yourself further is to say to yourself, if she succeeds, I succeed. Her success is my success.
Yeah, and what question are you focusing on? If you focus on a question that is negative, why is she better than me? Why is she prettier than me? Why is she more successful than me? Then you're going to get a negative answer. Your brain is like
Yes.
Google, right? So it's whatever you ask your brain, like the Google brain, it's going to give you the answer. Rather change your
Mm.
question, change your focus, subhanAllah, and think like that. And I completely agree, subhanAllah. Me and Rosaline, alhamdulillah, I feel genuinely happy when I see Rosaline do well.
Yeah,
Wallahi,
same.
I feel so happy.
Wallahi, yeah.
It makes me happy, and I think, and I respect and I admire that. you know,
Mm.
subhanallah. So
And
that's
that takes practice. You
yes,
know, psych, it takes practice. You know, guys, we all went through that phase. We're not saying that we weren't like that in the beginning. It takes practice because what happens is when you hate on someone's success or you hate on someone's beauty or you hate on someone else's marriage, you're unintentionally telling Allah that I don't want it. I don't want this.
and
You're
this is
unintentionally saying
how
that.
hasad kind of comes in. And when are you supposed
Yes.
to hasad in Islam? Envy. When is it supposed to be done? If somebody is more pious than you, if they've
Mm.
got more Quran than you, if they're doing more things that are better than you in terms of their good deeds, then you look up to them. But you don't wish it. You don't wish that it
Away
be
from
taken
them.
away from them.
Yes,
You
exactly.
wish to become like that. You wish to emulate that, and you wish
Yes.
to replicate that.
Yeah, and a lot of I see it a lot with the women, not in a bad way because obviously I'm a woman myself, but I see with a lot with the women, oh yeah, empowerment and let's empower each other. But when you actually look at the crux of it, no one is empowering each other. Everyone's just backbiting about each other and
Yeah,
criticizing each other
yeah,
and saying,
yeah.
look at her, look at the way she did that, look at the way she talks. End of the day, guys, whatever you say will come back to you. I promise you that, guys. Whatever you say, whatever you speak on will come back to you because you are planting seeds into the world. Allah says we plant seeds. You're planting seeds into your own mind, and then you are reaping that harvest in the future. So be very careful with how you say things and how you speak, because your thoughts become things. So the more you start again becoming jealous of people, and you think you want to bring down their success, or you're not doing it intentionally. I know for a fact you're not doing it intentionally. It's just you feel bad about yourself. You think her success or her beauty means that you don't have any. That's the issue, because you come from this lack mentality that there's not enough. I don't have enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not clever enough. I'm not successful enough. I'm not rich enough. It comes from that belief, not because you want to take it away from her. It's because you genuinely don't feel good about yourself. But someone else's success doesn't negate yours, because you could be successful in other ways. I met so many people who are so successful. They have different ways that they're successful. You don't know. But all you have to do is tell yourself that her success is my success. If she succeeds, then I will succeed too. And then when you keep doing that, you attract that. That's what you're going to attract. It's going to become your environment.
Yeah, 100%, subhanAllah. And you know what? This affects you in every aspect of your life, and more so even in marriages, right? When you
Mm.
start comparing your husband or your wife to another
Oh,
man
yeah.
who lives outside of your marriage, and you say, look at
Ooh,
him,
that's a deep
look at
one.
how, yeah, this is a
Yeah.
big one. This is
Yeah.
causes huge riots and huge fights and arguments between couples. Like, look at him, he's got such a nice house. Look at the car he drives. Look how he treats his wife so well. Look at this, look at that. SubhanAllah. Again, you've gone into the comparison. And once you start comparing people, you make them feel small. You make them feel like that's not enough. Or the woman does it with the man. She'll start saying to her husband, look at her, she's got everything, she's got a big house, she's got this.
Mm.
What have I got? What have I got? Her
Right.
husband goes and buys her this. What have I got? And that's
Mm.
really unhealthy when you start looking. And that's why even in Islam we're told to kind of look at people below you. Yes, look at
Mm.
people below you so that you don't negate and forget about the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, because He's given us
Mm.
so much, subhanAllah.
Yeah, it's so true. And we forget, it's so easy to forget, guys, because we're naturally forgetful. That's us, that's our weakness as human beings. We will forget things, okay? It's not here to say, oh my God, I'm such a bad person. But when you do, like for me personally, when I see someone like, someone who's not better off than me, maybe financially or like mindset wise, even mindset wise, I always use it as inspiration. Like, alhamdulillah, I'm not there.
Admire them, respect them.
Yeah,
SubhanAllah, they've created their reality. How can I
yeah.
create mine?
Time is proof, guys. You should understand this concept. When you look at someone below, like you think, I don't like using the word below, but when you feel like someone is not there where you don't aspire to be like them, right? Just know that they created that themselves. They co-created that reality. So if someone can co-create, let's say being homeless, on the streets and taking drugs, if someone can co-create that, you can co-create your reality, your dreams. You can manifest your dreams. You can become rich. You can be successful, have a successful marriage, have a successful business. We are all co-creators of our environment. We definitely can create success if you just focus on yourself. The key is to focus on yourself, not to focus on other people and see what they're doing? When you're constantly looking over someone's fence, you know, the nosy neighbor. You don't need to be like that, okay? You know, the grass is greener where you water it, not on the other side, okay?
Yeah,
It's where
100%.
you water it.
Exactly. And again, it comes back to the same thing. It's about creating that future, taking responsibility, taking ownership, saying, okay, I don't have this thing. I would like to have this thing. How do I make a strategic plan of action and get to achieving this thing? That's what you have to do, subhanallah. And what are and also, you know what, subhanallah, things to, how to identify if you've got insecurities or you feel like that. First step is just become aware of it. You know, what type of insecurities are you struggling with? You know, uncover them irrational beliefs, because these are all unhelpful for you at your core. You know, think about, okay, what exactly do I feel insecure about? You know, what uncertainty is there that's making me feel like that? What worries me, or what fears are making me feel like that? Why am I feeling insecure about these things? Go deep within yourself. Be honest.
Yeah.
Be real and raw, you know, to yourself. What underlying irrational beliefs are there? Because there is going to be some underlying kind of beliefs at the core of these insecurities. If you uncover them and you take the layers off, there's going to be something underneath there that's not serving you. You know, what unhelpful thinking styles are at the heart of these beliefs once you go deeper? What's the root cause of all these insecurities? And the deeper you go, the better you kind of understand how you develop the insecurities, because they can come from the root cause, can stem from a range of a cluster of memories that you've had for many years, your childhood, how you
Yes,
interpreted them experiences is what
exactly.
is the determining factor on how you feel. How I interpret something is going to determine how I feel about it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so true, because we're meaning making machines, guys. That's all we are. Just remember, an event happens. It could be something that's very small as your dad forgetting to pick you up from school. And then you created a meaning that I don't matter. Not that your dad said that you
I'm
don't
not
matter.
important. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
or I'm not important, and you know, people keep forgetting me, and then you go through this abandonment issue as well. So you created that meaning because no one said, because probably your dad would have said, I'm sorry, I'm really, really sorry that I forgot about you. But in your mind, you're thinking about, if you really love me, then how did you forget about me? I must not be important to you. And then we recycle these beliefs and we recycle these stories into adulthood, and then we use that blueprint to try and do things and try and be successful, and it never works. You have to dig deep, and also ask yourself that when you do dig deep and you find out why, ask yourself, is it true? That's it.
Yeah, and most of the times it's not even going to be true. It's an irrational fear. It's something that you've overanalyzed, and something that is an unhelpful thinking style or an irrational belief at the bottom of it all. It's not even. It probably most of the times they're not true. It's just a
Yeah.
level of uncertainty or that fear that is
Yes,
making you feel
exactly.
insecure. And you know what? Another thing you can do, subhanallah, to challenge this is practice being objective. You know, because like we said, your insecurities, our insecurities, are nothing more than what we've interpreted about ourselves, other people, circumstances, or about or what is or what isn't going to happen. Right? That's what it is. And when you change your perspective, we need to challenge that in some way. You know, think more rationally and objectively. So, for example, you can say, is this really how things are, or am I imagining it? Have I over
Yeah.
analyzed it? Right? How
Yeah.
can things be different to the way I'm seeing it and interpreting it? You
Yeah.
know, is it really realistic in this situation? Is this really true? How else
And then,
can I
yeah.
view it? How else can I interpret the situation? How else can I view myself and what I believe that I'm capable of in this particular situation? Or even what's a more realistic, the word realistic set of expectations I can create? And that's what you're doing is you're challenging yourself to think objective, come to your core. You know, is this really valid? Don't
Yeah.
you know? And you're doubting the interpretations that we make these interpretations up. So you
And
have to open the door to new
yeah.
possibilities and new perspectives when you become objective.
Yeah, and let me add to that. Basically, guys, an emotion only lasts for 90 seconds. So let's say you're feeling jealous and insecure. You have to sit with that emotion for 90 seconds. That's it. Just 90 seconds. Do a timer. Sit with it. And when you sit with it, you just think, okay, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like she's better than me? Why am I feeling so insecure? Why am I feeling jealous? That's just an emotion. Okay. The only way that it becomes a reality when you take action upon it, which is when you start criticizing, judging, starting to do things like, procrastinating, self-sabotaging, going through all those emotions because you acted upon that emotion.
The
Yeah.
symptoms of the poor belief. Yes, yes.
That's it, yeah. But the emotion lasts for 90 seconds. I promise you, scientific studies have shown it. It lasts for 90 seconds. So this is why the Prophet ﷺ talks about, doing wudu when you're in a state of anger. Because when you do, but it takes 90 seconds when you actually think of it to do wudu. It actually passes and it calms you down. So you need to get proactive when it comes to stuff like, you feeling away about a certain person or about a certain kind of topic. And another thing you can do is use powerful language. So when you're feeling insecure about yourself or you're feeling jealous, you can just say, I have phenomenal coping skills. Use powerful language and keep saying it. Repetition is how your brain works. It's how things stick when you repeat it. So when
Repetition is the
yes,
mother of all skills.
yes,
Mother
exactly.
of all skills, yeah.
Yes. So when you keep repeating, so say stuff with powerful adjectives and powerful words. Don't say, I'm good at, good at something. Say I'm extraordinary at this. I'm doing a stellar job. I'm doing an amazing, and you will see. It's like lotion into your brain. It's like you're rubbing lotion on your skin. Your mind will absorb it as true. So you need to keep at with this, keep with the language. That when you go into that dip or you go down that rabbit hole of comparing, bring yourself back by focusing on yourself and using powerful language to keep in the present.
100%. Your language defines, it makes or breaks your experience and what you think and everything else. So, language is very powerful. Also, subhanAllah, like even Islamically, we told, like if we feel envy towards somebody or hasad towards somebody, make dua for them. You're doing the opposite of getting rid of this negative emotion,
Yeah.
subhanAllah. So, really, look at, and also, I know we touched upon this before, but reflecting on your successes, the small wins, really the
Yes.
accomplishments, and take in account all the things, the strengths that have served you,
Mm,
and subhanallah, think about what have I excelled at in the past, why
yes.
have I excelled at these things, why have I done well, what strengths have helped me go really far in these areas, what personal attributes do I value of myself,
Yes.
how can I bring that mindset into this situation where I'm feeling insecure, because it reminds you you're capable and you're fully responsible as well as capable of working through these difficulties in different ways. It'll give you that
Yes.
confidence, that self assurance that you can get through anything, because you're
Mm.
bringing those same strengths, them same attributes, and that right mindset. With that, anything is possible, subhanallah.
Yeah, and keep that
Anything.
list with you. Keep that list available to you. When you write that list of all your little accomplishments or even your big ones, keep it next to you. Like read it in the morning as soon as you wake up. Things that you've accomplished, be grateful for it. Say, Alhamdulillah, Allah, you allowed me to do this. That's your form of gratefulness as well. And also, guys, always talk about journaling.
Yeah.
When you get a thought, let's say there's a person that you like, that you think she's better than you or you feel insecure about, and you look at what she's doing and then make it your reality. So journal about it as if it's already happened in your life. So let's say you see someone being very successful, making money, and you think, oh, I wish I could have that. What is she doing? Like, what's so great about her? What you need to do, bring it back to yourself, bring it back to the present and journal. And what you can do is imagine that it's happened already in your life. So whatever she's had, let's say she's making £30,000 a month, make it your reality. Say, I'm so grateful I'm making £30,000 a month, because that's an indicator that that's what you really want, but you're too afraid to chase it and you're not fulfilling your passions because you're too insecure. When you get triggered by other people's wins, it's usually because your soul knows that you can do that, but you're refusing to take action upon it. So the way for you to take action upon it is to journal in the present tense as if it's already happened in your life, and you'll see opportunities come your way.
Subhanallah, journaling is powerful. I've got a gratitude one, and I just write all my little things. It can be little comments, it can be things that
Yeah.
my clients have said, it can be just somebody, anything. My mom, like today, subhanallah, I felt so grateful. My mom made me like a bowl of fruit for my fast, and she just put it downstairs
Oh,
for me. SubhanAllah. It's not a big thing,
mashallah.
right? SubhanAllah.
Yeah, but
But
the
she
small
did
things.
that, and I saw it, and it just immediately I felt so happy and so grateful and so thankful for that small thing. I took a picture of it, SubhanAllah, and I thought I'm going to
Oh,
put this, and I thought these are the small things when you focus on them and
mm,
you zoom in on them, wallahi, you're completely your mindset, your perspective shifts, and
mm.
it's really amazing because when you're living in a place of gratitude, everything is for you. It's not against you.
Yes, so true.
Everything is for you. There's not any problems. There's no comparison. There's no all this victim mode language and becoming a victim, because when you become a victim, you've given your power away to that person or that thing or that situation. So don't become
Exactly.
a victim,
It's so
subhanallah.
true.
And thank you very much for joining us, Wajid and Rashid as well. But really assess your circumstances. Look at, evaluate the nature. What happens is when we feel insecure about something, we
Mm,
convince ourselves that what, things are going to be like this, and you need to, and we become in like, we retreat back into our comfort zone, yeah, because we're riddled with uncertainty. But really think about it, assess your circumstance. What's the worst that, we said this before, what's the worst that could possibly
mm,
happen if I take action despite my insecurity about this thing that I'm feeling insecure about? So what? Who cares? Things are probably not as bad as I make them out to be. Really assess it. How can you potentially handle yourself during this worst case scenario? Remember, I
yeah.
gave you like a few weeks ago that example of, I was scared of driving uphill when I newly passed my driving test. And then,
Mm,
worst case scenario, what's going to happen? I'm going to roll back.
yeah.
Yeah, that was it. So, really, the worst case scenario wasn't that bad. How can you possibly turn a horrible experience or a difficult one, maybe not use the word horrible, difficult one, into an opportunity for something better? Me and
Mm,
Rosaline both have gone through our tests. We're not
mm.
just sitting here having a chat with you. We've
Yeah,
gone through
we've
our
been
tests.
through it.
Subhanallah. We've gone through our, it's true, isn't it? It's true,
Yeah.
subhanallah, right? We've
We're
gone
not, just,
through our
we're
tests.
not chatting air here, guys. We're not just chatting oxygen. We've actually have been through stuff
Yeah,
like this. So we know. When people go, you just don't know how it feels. No, we do know how it feels, guys. We
trust me,
know.
we know.
We
We've
do.
been through some painful circumstances.
Yeah.
But you can turn that into an opportunity for something better.
Yes.
And
Flip the
Rosie,
script.
you said this last time. When I said, what's the worst that can happen? She said, what's the best that can possibly happen if I take action
Yes.
beyond my insecurities? Look at that as well.
Yes. Mm,
What regrets are you going to have if you hold yourself back all your life and allow your insecurities to get better of you? Think about what you're missing out on. How many things
yes.
are you going to miss out on in your life, subhanallah, because you allowed these insecurities, these things that weren't even real? You made it up, you gave it a meaning, it wasn't even real, and you
Mm.
didn't do what could have really helped you or made your life so much better, subhanallah.
Yeah. And also, I want to add, gratefulness, guys, don't think it's a transaction. Don't think, oh, I'm going to be grateful today so Allah can go and give me something. And a lot of us have that. It's all this because we even make dua thinking, oh, I'm going to make a dua and Allah it will answer it. So it's just a transaction. I mean, just do it for the sake of it. But guys, just remember, when you are being grateful, you are returning to your normal state. Right? You are already abundant. You have already everything that you need. Allah created you with everything that you need. What happens is when you do gratefulness, it keeps you in the present moment, meaning you return back to your normal state of abundance and you stop creating scarcity because we all create lack. We create this illusion of lack and scarcity. This is what Allah says in the Quran about competing for wealth. They're competing for an illusion. You create the illusion of scarcity. We are already abundant. And actually, I read the ayat today, subhanAllah, in Surah Al-Isra, where Allah says, in the ships, they move by His will. He's the one who controls the ships so that we can seek the risk. Do you understand? Seek and you will find, but you have to be in that state. Go back to your normal state of abundance and realize that everything that you're insecure about or everything that you're looking at away from you is already within you. The answers are within you. So being grateful takes you back to that normal state.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, and we should, and that's why we pray 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Because in this is what Allah has ordered us to do. Is
Yeah,
to
but
become
it's natural
grateful.
for us. When you
You
actually
know,
think about it, look at children. It's natural for them to want to, look at children when they follow when they follow parents praying. It's just natural for them to submit. It's just a natural state. It's not something that sometimes we say, oh, it's like we feel it's forced. It's not a forced thing. This is your natural being. So when you make sujood and you prostrate, it's natural for you
yeah,
to do
it's
that.
our fitrah, it's our
Yeah,
nature, it's our fitrah, it's what we've been born upon, subhanallah. And you know what,
yeah,
really, gratitude really, really works wonders when you implement it and you become it in your life. Everything is a positive, it's for you and it's not against you, subhanallah. So
exactly.
really take that into account. And also maybe engage in positive self-talk. You know, you have to
Yes,
prime, you have to condition your body and brain for this action. And one of the
yeah.
best ways to do it is is positive type of self-talk. So, for example, affirmations. You can repeat to yourself, "I'm a confident and capable person." Okay,
Mm,
I'm a confident and capable person. That's one. I
yes,
believe I can do this. For example,
yeah.
I don't say that you can have that. I believe I can do this. Or you know what? I'll just take one small action to get to my goal or whatever it is you want to achieve. You
Yeah,
know,
use that
or
change your
yeah,
language.
changing your language, subhanallah. Another affirmation, I will learn from my mistakes and I'm gonna
Mm,
keep moving forward without hesitation. Do you hear the words? The focus is without hesitation, because the longer you take to decide whether or not you're going to do something, the more doubts are going to creep into your head, the more
yeah,
insecure you're going to feel. You know, you have to
so true.
become decisive. It's not always about finishing the race. It's rather about going just a little further than before. And you know what? I've just remembered something regarding finishing the race, subhanallah. There was a sister that I know of, right? And she, mashallah, was very deeny, very religious. And you look at her and you see her as a role model. Okay,
Mm,
mashallah. She really wanted to study in Saudi Arabia and study Arabic and follow that route and become good at what she does, right? She really wanted to spread the deen, very sincere, right? She tried everything under the sun.
mm,
She went there in person. She gave an application. She asked people. She did all the stuff that she was asked to do,
mm,
and it wasn't happening for her. It just wasn't happening, and she desperately wanted it.
mm,
Yeah, and she spoke to a scholar, a sheikh, and he gave her advice, and she started crying her eyes out. She started
mm.
bawling her eyes out because for her it was about finishing the race, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
achieving that
right.
goal. For her, it
Mm,
was about finishing it, doing it, achieving it, right? But
mm,
he said to her, Subhanallah, it's not about the end result. It's about the journey you take towards Allah and
exactly.
yourself, about going a little further and your effort and your perseverance that you're gonna get rewarded for,
Yeah, that's so
right? So
true.
it's
It's who
not
you become.
always, yeah, it's not always about the end result. Think about it. If me and you really wanted to learn Arabic and become proficient, sorry, in the Quran and in Arabic, have we not got all the resources available? We
Yeah, we
have
have
got
everything.
everything here in the
Yeah,
UK. We have got, Alhamdulillah, with everything that is online, we have abundance available at our fingertips
yeah,
all the time,
exactly. But we don't
right?
realize that because we're not even thinking about that. We're just thinking about the lack. Do you see where we create
Yeah,
lack?
our
We
focus
have,
is we
yes,
don't have
on the
this, in
lack.
it. Yeah,
Yes. We create the illusion. This is what Allah says in the Quran. We create that there's an illusion. This world is just an illusion, and we create these illusions of lack. Everything's available. Guys, when you actually think of it, there's no shortage of anything. There's no shortage of
alhamdulillah.
water. There's no shortage of oxygen. We are all living, we're breathing, and despite the fact that they keep saying we're overpopulated, that's a lie. We are still living, right? There's no shortage of anything. We create that within ourselves because we're trying to fight. We're trying to fight for something, power and ego and control. When you let go of that control, you let go of the ego, you let go of that power trip, and you just focus on yourself and you focus on the things that you can do, because we all need to become. It's not about being someone else, it's all about becoming who you truly are. And this is where that journey happens. You have to go on that journey of becoming. A lot of us are scared to do that because it requires us to face our fears. to be
Yeah.
courageous, to get vulnerable. And a lot of people were saying, no, I want to touch about hasad as well and ayn. A lot of people always say to me, oh, you're not scared of ayn? No, because you know what? There's actually a scholar who said this. He was like, don't think evil eye is proof that you have blessings. It's proof that you just forgot Allah. Evil eye is proof that you forgot to remember Allah. That's it. It's not proof that someone wants your success. It's not proof that you're so blessed that people want to take it away from you. It's just proof that you forgot to remember Allah, because Allah is your ultimate protector. So if you're scared of, like, you know, of ayn and hasad and evil eye, ask yourself, am I placing greater emphasis on evil eye, or am I placing greater emphasis on Allah protecting me? And you will find out where the conflict is in your iman. Because usually that's what it is.
That's a really good way of looking at it, Rosie. Subhanallah, that's pretty phenomenal. And you know what? Yeah, and it's all about creating that future, because if you really want to overcome your insecurities, you have to have a full commitment to it, right? It's not all loose talk and wishing and dreaming. This is doing. You know, this you know, subhanallah, the lives that we're doing, these can be really transformational for you if you decide to take action.
Yes.
Right? And that's what distinguishes people, by the way, from the successful people who go far in life and the ones who linger behind. And I'm not saying this in a critical or judgmental way, but rather a truthful and honest way, that the differentiation is the ones who make a full commitment to overcoming what's stopping them. Making a commitment isn't something you just do in your head and you think about it and you say, you know what, yeah, I've got this insecurity, and you know, rather you adopt it in your life. You break away from your old habits that are not serving you, or the patterns of behavior that are not good for you, and you condition yourself. You condition a new set of beliefs that align with the new habits. Does that make
right.
sense?
Yes, total sense. Yes.
So it's really, again, about creating that for yourself. And what are you going to do differently? How are you going to create that reality?
Yeah, and I want to add to that, Saika.
Yeah,
I want to add to that. Also have certainty that you will get your outcome. This is one thing that we all lack. We do it with a place of doubt. We think, oh, let me just try it. She did it, so I can do it. Let me just see if it goes that way. No, commitment means that you are certain that the outcome will happen, regardless of what it looks like. You know, you don't know what it looks like, but you know there will be an outcome that will propel you or accelerate your growth. That's what you're looking for. Because a lot of us, we have to have certainty in our faith in God, right? That's a requirement. So if you have to have and you also have to have certainty when you do make dua, when you do pray to Allah for him to manifest.
He's gonna give it you. You're gonna get it.
You have to be certain. So it's the same with you when it comes to you achieving your goals. You have to be certain that it's going to happen. I have no time for my stories. I have no time for excuses. I always say to myself, listen, Rosie, you ain't got time for these excuses. All you can do, you are committed to the outcome, and you told yourself, I'm certain it's going to happen if I put in the effort, and Allah will reward you for that. He will give you what you want.
100%. And this is the benefit of really getting into self-development, because you adopt these new powerful beliefs, patterns of behavior, thought processes that help you achieve this peak performance, that get you out of your stories, that get you out of your fears, and get you, rid you of all these patterns and things that are not good for you. So really it's about creating that. And subhanallah, when we create it, the smallest things can make a huge difference. Practice self-acceptance, because no one's perfect, right? I know I mentioned perfectionism earlier, but really, is anyone perfect? No. When we initially did our lives, subhanallah, I couldn't even position my phone in the right place.
God, took us 3 minutes.
To get anything else, my mentor took us like 15 minutes to get the positioning of the phone right.
My mentor, she even said to me, if you're jealous of someone's beauty or her prettiness, she said to me, listen, her poop stinks. So what are you jealous of? And I laughed so much. She goes, even a successful person, their poop stinks. So what are you jealous of? Because we all create in the same way. What is that to be jealous of? Yeah, we all created the same. We all do things. Yeah, we go to the toilet and our poop stinks. So if you are jealous of someone, what are you really jealous of? Because we're all made up of the same matter. That's it.
So you all defecate, you all urinate in the nicest way possible. So there's no perfectionism for nobody here, subhanAllah.
Exactly. So when you feel the need to like compare, just tell yourself, well, her poop stinks. Doesn't smell of roses. And if it does, and like, which is impossible, but you just remind yourself of that so that you stop going into that rabbit hole of like comparing and feeling insecure.
Yeah, subhanallah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Language is powerful, subhanallah.
It's
One
so
of my
powerful,
mentors,
guys.
it's really, really powerful. It can make or break you. And
Yeah.
that's why, it's so important to condition yourself to become like that. One of my mentors in his books, he says things, your vocabulary, basically your language, right? Your language patterns. And when you're feeling really, really angry, use funny words like the Americans use this word called peeved, not peeved, peeved with like double E-V-E-D.
Yeah.
And when you're feeling proper angry, say peeved, because it doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like you're making these little shifts, and it's like
Yeah.
instead of saying I'm depressed, saying I'm feeling a tad bit peeved. That just makes me laugh. Right?
You have to
Literally,
change
your
it. Yeah.
language is so powerful. And then I wrote some things like about peeved, and like I did some things and exercises
Yeah.
and that, and it was really good. Subhanallah.
Minimize
And then
it. Minimize
yeah,
the emotion. It
you're
minimizes
minimizing it.
small in your mind. Like, say I'm just a tad bit peeved, or just a little bit upset. Like, I'm not even upset, just peeved, or like something so superficial in your mind. You're thinking, oh, it's not a big thing. But when you say depressed, I'm anxious, I'm angry, these are very
Yeah.
powerful, charged emotions. Yeah. So we have a charge to it. You need to decrease that charge by saying like things that are funny. That's quite funny. I'm going to use that next time.
Yeah, honestly, it's in that book, and whenever I read it, it makes me laugh and it makes me smile. Subhanallah. So no
No.
one's perfect, yeah.
No.
And if you're gonna expect to be perfect, you're gonna be disappointed. Like I told you, it took us 15 minutes to set up the thingy, the phone, just position the phone. So we're all flawed, yeah. We're all flawed, and this is to show you that.
Just own it, guys. Own it. You know me. I make
Yes,
mistakes.
okay.
Own it. Just so
Wallahi, I love feedback. I don't know about
Yes.
you, Rosie, yeah, but
Love
I
it.
appreciate people who give me constructive feedback. It is not
Yes.
failure for me. It is an opportunity for me to do it better the next time.
Exactly. And guys, that's the best way for you to grow is to get constructive feedback and willing to accept it. Like, I don't like when people praise me. I'm always looking for the one who's got like some kind of criticism for me. I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense. I could have done it better.
Yeah.
That's the best way for you to evolve and grow, because you need to stretch. Remember, guys, to get out of your comfort zone, you have to stretch, and getting constructive criticism helps you stretch. So welcome it, welcome the criticism, welcome that feedback, so that you can, shift and you can get better.
Feedback is amazing, alhamdulillah. And you know what, wallahi, it can serve you in so many positive ways. Feedback in your marriage can save your marriage. Feedback in your career, your business can help excel your business. Feedback in your character can make you a stronger person and work on them flaws. What's the purpose of Ramadan? What is the purpose of fasting? It's not to stay away from food and drink, subhanallah, and that's it. There's a bigger purpose beyond it. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may attain God consciousness, so that you may become better, so that you may become righteous, subhanallah, right? So that's all of our goals. So feedback is always going to serve you, no matter, even if it's your worst enemy on the planet.
I love it.
Right? Subhanallah, take it on, headstrong. Inshallah, that's how you're gonna grow. That's how you're gonna become better, and that's amazing. Feedback is the best thing. So don't practice self acceptance. Don't become perfect and think it has to be perfect. Just accept how you are. Embrace the person you've become. There's a difference between what can be changed and what needs to be accepted as well. And subhanallah, and that's how you grow.
And I want to add to that, Saika, make Allah the source of your happiness, your love, your wealth, your success. Make Allah the channel. Don't make people your channels. Don't make people the source of your happiness. Make Allah that. So whenever you want to feel,
because you're going to be disappointed if you make
because people are flawed. Like, you have to understand, we're all flawed. So the issue is that when you start feeling insecure, it's because you made other people your source of happiness and validation. So make Allah that. When you're doing something, say, Allah, I'm seeking your validation, I'm seeking your permission, I want you to bless this. Take it back to Allah, take it back to God. Don't think, okay, she's doing this, so I want to do that. Say, you know what, Allah, is it good for me to do this? Speak to Allah every single day and make him the source of everything, and you'll go further. So yeah,
Alhamdulillah,
guys.
there's so much wisdom in all of this, subhanAllah. So please, if you do benefit from these and you know somebody who's struggling, then share
Yeah.
it with them and make sure you tell them you can really help somebody, subhanAllah. Changing perspective is a big thing, and it's not done in our communities very much, and we don't really take it head on board. And a lot of our, families and our elders, they've lived their life with these negative beliefs and these patterns of behavior and not really knowing. So we're really here to serve you and support you in this process. So please do help us in sharing this message
Yes,
and
please do
let us
share.
know what are your comments, what are your takeaways, what have you learned from this, what are you going to do, inshallah, differently from now on,
Yes.
to help grow in whatever you want to do. So accept that everything is subjective, by the way, because we interpret things in our own way based on, like I said before, our experiences, our beliefs, our values, our expectations. So it's not so much what happens to us, but what
Mm,
how we interpret them. And that's what we're doing. We're interpreting the situation subjectively. So next time you overcome with insecurity, get another opinion. Ask a
yeah.
righteous, God-fearing friend, a person who's kind of grounded. Ask them, how would they respond in your shoes? You don't even have to tell them it
Yeah.
happened to you. Say, I know somebody who did X. If you really don't want to own up and you feel embarrassed, some people don't like to,
Yeah.
say, what would you do if that was you? What should a person do if they're doing this or they're doing that? There's no right or wrong, really. It's rather
Mm,
about the interpretations we make and ultimately how we respond that makes all the difference.
yeah. Alhamdulillah. So guys, let us know your insights. If you have any questions, just one question that I saw. How can I change my mindset? Hold
Hmm.
on one second. How do you give yourself that motivation to do something about it without putting yourself down? So when you want to do something, how
So
do you
not having
motivate?
enough motivation is a symptom of something underlying, isn't it? It could be like procrastination is a symptom. It's not
Yeah,
the actual fact, but it's a symptom of it. What's stopping you from doing it is, so if there's no motivation, is it because there's perfectionism issue that I'm going to
yeah.
make a
She
mistake?
says she puts herself down. Yeah, so that could be perfectionism,
Yes,
putting yourself
subhanAllah.
down. It's
And
the
you can
insecurity.
contact me or Rosaline, inshallah, to have a chat about that if you want to go into more detail with that
Yeah,
and to really explore what's happening behind the
yeah,
scenes. I just want to say thank you very much. We've got a few comments on Facebook from Rashid, Fatima, Wajid, Kazim, Halima, Iqbal, Kaka, Sajid. Thank you very much for joining us. If you've got any, gems that you've taken, please do share them with us. Alhamdulillah.
yes.
So
So yeah,
yeah,
so yeah,
really, that's it. That's in a nutshell how you overcome insecurity. Tame your inner critic.
mm,
Sometimes people have this inner voice inside their brain, and and they just start talking to themselves negatively.
mm,
Um, think about what's it gonna cost you if you didn't do this thing. You know, we
mm.
we're all making mistakes. Our
Yeah,
experience,
own them. Yeah,
yeah.
just own them. Own your mistakes, guys. I make mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes, and people like. I remember one time I misquoted this hadith about the Prophet ﷺ said when I was talking about adultery in a video about
Mm.
cheating, like a man cheating on his wife, and she wants to commit suicide, and I was like, and then I said that there's a hadith about when a man commits adultery, he's not a Muslim at the time of doing that, so he's not considered
I think, are
Muslim.
you talking about zina, that you are at the
Yeah,
lowest point,
Zina.
or because you're at
Yeah,
the lowest point of your iman when
yeah.
you're indulging in that? Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
So I misquoted it, and then someone goes, "Oh, people did comment saying that it's not true. You can't quote the hadith." I said, "You know what? Absolutely right. I'm so sorry." And I put a disclaimer in. There's nothing wrong with it. We all make
Mm.
mistakes, and people will take that and think, "Oh my God, I can never talk about the deen ever again." I used to be like that. When I used to get one criticism, I'd be like, "Oh my God, I can't do this ever again because someone's going to come and say," and then you go into that perfectionism. You don't want to say things, you don't want to do things, and because you're worried about other people's opinions. But at the end of the day, if you just own up to it, think, you know what, yeah, I made a mistake. It's cool. It's not the end of the world. You know it better than me. Alhamdulillah, I have people like you in my team, in my tribe that can call me out on my mistakes. It's a great thing. So you should always flip the perspective and think, oh, if people if I make a mistake and people call me out on it, that's amazing.
Mm.
I have
Yeah,
people who want good for me.
that's not failure. It's feedback, and feedback
Yeah.
is always serving you. Alhamdulillah. We got a question on Facebook. Learning Arabic is important to understand the Quran. do you read Quran without translation? So I'm not perfect and I'm not there completely yet, but inshallah we make the effort and the attempt to understand the Quran without translation as well.
Okay. I didn't get the point of the question, but okay.
I think it was just a general question
Oh,
about,
okay.
do you read the Quran without relying on the English translation? So do you know Arabic?
Oh,
I
as a
think that's
form
what
of.
you meant.
Oh, okay.
Completely. Yeah, yeah.
Got you. I think that's all the questions on my side. I think people are very intentively listening to this.
Yeah,
This was a
Alhamdulillah. So thank you so much for joining us today. You know, focus on becoming more spontaneous, live by your own rules and standards, stop comparing yourself to other people,
yes.
commit
And
to consistently developing
yes.
yourself, you know, keep a success journal of your life, your journey that you're going on. And subhanallah, you can really get rid of these thoughts. Remember, they're not real. And take action, you know, and let us know what you learned from this and how you benefited from it, inshallah. And we look
And one
to
last
serve
thing
you.
I want to say to you guys. One last thing. The best love story is falling in love with yourself. So commit to it.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong journey. Okay? Just fall in love with yourself, guys. It's the best love story ever. Okay?
And it
So
starts
inshallah,
with ourselves. Yeah, completely. Yeah.
yes. But inshallah, guys, till next time. I think Instagram is going to shut me off again, like last time. So until next time, guys, inshallah, we'll be back tomorrow, right? What time? 7 p.m. Hopefully not this late.
What day is it tomorrow? I can't even
Tuesday.
remember.
Swims along.
Because you didn't come on yesterday, so it's not my fault, is it?
Oh, my days. I'm so sorry,
Alhamdulillah.
guys.
So
Alhamdulillah.
yeah, inshallah. We've got another comment on Facebook. Yes, I agree about talking to someone or get advice, how we interpret things so we get different views. Thank you, Fatima. Kaka says scholars have said in Ramadan it's best to just recite. Translation can be the focus outside of Ramadan. Yes, there is definitely a lot more reward in reading it. One letter is 10 rewards and then multiplied, alhamdulillah. So barakallah feek, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Inshallah, we will be joining you tomorrow. Let us know if there's any particular topic you want us to talk about. We're trying to cover it on a, you know, we're trying to just guess things and
Yeah.
see that it's useful for you.
Inshallah.
If
I
it's
got
useful
20
for you,
I got 20 seconds, Aika, inshallah. Okay, I'm gonna say salams on Instagram, inshallah. You
yeah.
take care,
So
guys.
yeah, so inshallah, until tomorrow, taqabbalallah minna wa minkum on everything that we have all done so far and on your Ramadan. We will see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.